Okay, in this tutorial we're going to do a brief overview of signing up for a Twitter account and configuring your settings. So let's jump into this. Alright, so I'm at twitter.com, and over here on the right hand side you'll see sign up. This is pretty straightforward. It's very similar to how you would register for any other service. So you put your full name here, your username. On your username, keep in mind this is how people are going to come to know you on Twitter, so you might want to think about, maybe a catchy name or something that identifies you maybe a little bit more uniquely than other people. Then the other information here, and it's pretty straightforward stuff as you can see. So I'm going to go on and jump in and show you my account and walk you through some of the settings. So I'm signing into my Twitter account. And I want to jump over here in the very top right where it says settings, okay? So we're going to click there. I'm going to walk you through a couple things here. So there are a number of different options up here that we want to pay attention to. So there's my name, there's my username that I set up on my account, there's my email address that I have in here, and so all this is pretty much standard stuff. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, talk about add a location to your tweets. On this option, if you select this, anytime I send out a tweet from this part of Twitter, a location will be added to that particular tweet. Some folks don't like to add a location to your tweet. There's a bit of a privacy issue there. Something you might want to think about is that you can always turn this on or turn it off. I like to turn it on when I'm out of town, so people maybe that I know on Twitter that are in the same area when I'm out of town can see my tweets, and maybe they can help me out if I need help with something. Or it also shows the people that where I live, if I'm out of town, where I'm at, kind of clue them in as to what I'm doing, that sort of thing. The next option here you're going to see is protect my tweets. This is another issue of privacy. I recommend not protecting your tweets. Twitter is for social networking, social media, it's for sharing, and if you don't allow people to see your tweets, you're not going to be able to really engage in Twitter very well, because people are not going to be able to see what you're doing. So, but I suppose that would be a good function to have if you're just using Twitter for a close network of people, and you're just sharing your tweets with those particular people. But not many people use Twitter, at least in July 2010, in that way. So the next item up here, password, is pretty straightforward stuff. You can go under this setting to change your password and that's something you should do from time to time to maintain your privacy of your account. Mobile. Now I have, for the purposes of this tutorial, I've turned off my mobile number here, but this is something you want to pay attention to. You enter in your phone number here, and when you do this on your settings, you want to have your phone with you, because it'll send a code to you and you have to verify your number. But this is a really good service to use, particularly if you do not have a smartphone, because you can update your Twitter account, and you can do a variety of things with your phone with these commands right here. Now, using Twitter from the texting option is free, but it's obviously dependent on what your text messaging plan is on your phone. But the use of Twitter itself is free, and here are a lot of different functions that you can include with a text message that allows you to engage with Twitter. So that's a pretty good thing to have there. And so you might want to review that and test it out and work on some of those things. This is something that you can elect to do. You can elect to, and I think early on as you're first using Twitter, these are good things to have. Get an email and get a notification when somebody follows you, and get an idea about how your Twitter account is developing, how it's growing. If you have a smartphone, there are other options of how you can receive notifications, and I'll be covering that in another tutorial. On your profile here, when you set up your account, make sure you go on and add a picture there. It's really obvious for people that don't use their Twitter accounts very often to have the default Twitter picture there on their profile image. It doesn't look good, and it definitely it's kind of like bad form, I guess, if you want to think about it that way. But And then I put my name up here, that's who I am. Your location, I had just the state of Kentucky up here for a long time, but then I decided I want people to know exactly where I was from, so I included Owensboro there. And then I have a website that's kind of my home website that I put here. And on your bio, this really does say a lot about how you're using your Twitter account at any particular time. I use my Twitter account largely for professional and for personal use. So I include my title of my workplace. I teach sociology. I've put my interest in there, and this really has allowed me to connect with a lot of people that are sociologists and that have these particular interests. I include a couple of things about myself, some personal interest in there as well, so I can connect with people that way too. So this is something that you can change over time, and I change mine over time as things change in my life or as my interests change. And you want to pay particular attention to this because it does say something about how other people are going to interact with you, and so it says a little bit about yourself as well. On the design here, these are the background images. You can see the background of Twitter right here. Now that's the default background that you see in this selection here. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this, and you might want to play around with this. And I was going to show you a couple of examples as to how other Twitter users do various things. I'll just click on Neiman Lab here real quick and kind of give you an idea of some different options. You can play around the background. This is the home page of the Neiman Lab account, and just give you an idea about some things that you can do with that if it's something that you want to do. And so to do that design, to do different types of design, if you scroll down here, you can see where you can change the background image, you can change design colors and that sort of things. The next and last thing on this particular tutorial they're going to mention is just connections and really getting started with your Twitter account. This is not going to be too important with you, but the things that you see right here are ways that I connect to my Twitter account from my iPhone, from Facebook, from TweetDeck, from SlideShare, from various other programs that I use, and I'll cover that in a little bit more detail in some of the advanced tutorials that you see on my help site. So jump in, good luck, and hope it works out for you.